Tower of God Season 2 Review Part 2. Right after finishing the previous mini arc, it's time to look at something that sets up an important pre arc for the big games. If I should give a brief summary before going into the details, this is what follows. One of our new characters, Horyang, or should I say Ilmar Beniamino, aka the Devil's Right Arm, has found a trace of his old friend Kasano Beniamino, the Devil's Left Arm. They had a tragic backstory and after an event, they got separated. Horyang leaves the sweet and sour team after duking it with Bam and ended up meeting his friend. Kun, who was eager to catch Kasano, also ends up in the same place as them alongside Ran and Novik. But got betrayed by Fug spies who were in his team with Rachel. This was not the only shock though. Bam decided to get Horyang back but finds himself face to face with Kun and his teammates because of the rabbit-eared girl. Naughty but psycho. She blows up the place and threatens Bam. Kun survives as the others found him, like Wangnan and Arkraptor. Hwaryun decides to visit Khun to relay the informations about past events. Our other characters think that Khun died and goes to target Bam, thinking that he killed Khun. The situation sorts out and Khun, who is now with Sweet and Sour team, qualifies with our other characters in the one-shot one opportunity test. They all head to the workshop battle. There was a lot to dive into here, so let's start the detailed review. As soon as we read chapter 37, we get an intro of a sort of humanoid robot named Emily. Apparently, she is an advanced AI capable of learning through communications via group chat. Many regulars on the 28 and 29 floor trust Emily and even use the chat to gather information. Whether it's questions or suggestions or even enemy positions on the battlefield. Quite useful, I have to admit. It can be wrong sometimes, so you don't want to rely on it too much. Now, someone informs Emily that Bam is alive, and when Khun randomly asked it, she answered yes. Now this is a setup caused by Apple, not the food one, this one. She is actually a spy from one of the Fug elders along with this guy and Rachel. This guy just falls from the ladder every time I see her. It hasn't even been 8 years but again a betrayal. This time I got to say that Khun was outsmarted and almost got killed. If Wangnan and the others did not save him, he would have died. Apple was the talented light bearer that Khun took as his teammate. She exploited the fact that Khun was looking for the devil's right arm, or more correctly, the devil's left arm. Kasano was impersonating Horyang to send a message to come to the 28th floor where Kasano was. Our boy Hearts actually lost to Kasano quite miserably. It was a hard counter for our boy Hearts, who is a swordsman, because both Horyang and Kasano are the first living ignition weapons in the tower. That's right, the same but quite different from the Black March or Green April. They are called ignition weapons because the weapon has a soul in it. But a living ignition weapon is someone fused with an ignition weapon, or in Horyang and Kasano's case, a beast. Horyang was shown a great backstory and how he got into the tower, being experiment material in the workshop for their entire life, and the cruel nature or truth added another dark layer to the story. The workshop will be expanded in the workshop battle arc, so I'm waiting for that. It's a shady place anyway. Horyang finds a picture of Kasano that was a clue for him to go to the 28th floor. He decides to leave behind the sweet and sour team as he did not want to involve them. They have become a family in these past 2 years. I reckoned he liked ghosting a bit. So as he would leave, he confronts Bam to check on something. This is quite interesting as Horyang questions Bam if Bam himself is a living ignition weapon or not. We saw in previous chapters that there was a red skeletal thing attached to Bam. It healed his serious injuries, but no explanation to that. After some back and forth, Bam says that Fug planted something inside him at the floor of tests. He does not know what it is and cannot access to it like how Horyang does with his ignition weapon parts. That is an interesting topic. There is also this red thorn-like thing attached to Bam. Again, Fug gave it to him. Not really much known or elaborated. I hope they will give an answer in the next arc. Khun, Ran, Novik, Horyang and Kasano were at the place called the Hand of Arlen. Khun, Ran and Novik trying to catch Kasano. They mistook Horyang at first as they did not properly know. It was funny that all of them complained about his weight. On the other hand, Bam decides to come after seeing Horyang is now a part of the sweet and sour team and everyone needs him. He went alone but the rest followed him nonetheless. The light bearer girl who was first thought to be nice was actually a member of Fug, and this was all planned by Fug. Jia, who thinks Bam is her god and the birth of a new Slayer nominee needs bloodshed and killing. How many times should I say this? These Fug guys have some serious issues. She tricks Bam into thinking that Ran and Novi kill Horyang and Bam starts fighting them, which he wins pretty easily. Turns out it's somehow worked out, but Khun is the one tricked, which I explained earlier. He gets backstabbed. Also, during the explosion by Jia, Khun was overwhelmed by what was going on. First the betrayal to now seeing Bam, his only fast friend who was betrayed and killed almost 8 years ago, now stands before him. And then the blast happens. Bam is angry but takes Ran and Novik with him to keep them alive from fog. It was his first priority. He believes Kun is alive and we see Wang Nan's team rescuing him. After that initial chaos, there is a shift in the focus. We see Hwaryun informing and explaining all that has happened to Kun. She says that this time she was also tricked. Fug Elders did not like the fact that Bam was free climbing. They want to watch every move he makes. Jin Sung Ha, Bam's master, supported Bam, so they did not go too wild. Kun decides to take upon Hwaryun's words but not fully trust her. We also got some interesting piece of news. Apparently, guides can go anywhere in the tower they want, even if they fail the test. This will be somehow important in the future. I think she will be the guide of Bam and his team in their journey. After some fun training scenes of the Sweet and Sour team, our major characters all get the rights to go up to the 30th floor. Here we experience a minigame. It was a test to qualify only 200 E rank regulars to board the Archimedes, one of the 12 ships in the tower. Also the qualification to part in the workshop battle. This game's name was okay, one shot on opportunity. Not really unique, but it works for the theme. Betrayals are like drinking water in these webtoons. That was shown again here. As Kun and the Sweet and Sour team, which has now won, tries to win the game, our other characters like Shibisu, Endorsi, Anak, Hars and some new ads go on a jovial grace hunt. Endorsi kind of encounters Bam and finds out from this traveler guy that his name is the 25th Bam. I really like that part here. Also the fact that this traveler guy is here for Emily is a nice add up to the story. We got to see some great fights in this couple of chapters. Ran and Novik vs Horiang was great. The electric based attacks were named cool and displayed well. The artwork is something noticeable though. It is improving very fast. We see our cool boy hard sword fight. He was defeated by Kasano a few years before and trained harder to overcome that. I like that there is someone like that in this webtoon. Bam is a genius when it comes to anything, almost frightening. So seeing this focus on Hers was a nice balance there. Anak had a fight with Ran, but I did not get as much Anak as I hoped for. I'll comment on that after the arc ends. Shibisu and the new bee-looking characters tried to kill Bam, but they should have done more research. It was close to ease to deal with them despite the planning ahead, further hyping Bam's prowess. As this game ends, so does our review. I can't wait to see what SIU did with the workshop battle. He was hyping it up pretty well, not to mention the Rack Wraith Raiser will be there too. So let us just end this here guys. Feel free to subscribe, like and share your opinion down the comments below.